What's good, y'all? Elvis here, back again with another episode of Game Big Homie Told Me. So it took me about 28 years, but I finally understand women. She just want to be free, whatever the hell that means. But just because freedom is what she wants, doesn't mean it's what you're supposed to give her. Her idea of freedom could be completely different depending on what she's on. Some people who've never really had to struggle with money, freedom is a lack of responsibility, a lack of expectations. Freedom could be she wants more options available, not necessarily she wants to exercise options. She wants the option of having options because to her that might be freedom. A lot of things men don't realize is like women biologically are the only ones that can have babies, but like giving birth is traumatic for the mother and the child on some level. I'd say less so the child because it kind of got to happen, you feel me? I'm constantly hearing about women talk about how becoming a mother, like they lost a part of themselves because it's like to put your energy towards one path, you have to close off another path. Like to have children, you have to decide to not live the childless life and all the things that come with that. You know what I mean? Like there's a sacrifice no matter what you're doing. Like even on a personal level, I've been growing my sovereignty and I've been developing it in my entrepreneurship as well as just being fiscally responsible has opened up a lot of options for me. But at the same time, that's closed a lot of options that were money wasters, time wasters, energy wasters for me. Because I'm on this track, I can't be on that track anymore. And sometimes that's hard to come to terms with because you have to grieve a life that you can't have no more. And like while, women are equal now or whatever, people don't realize like women have only been able to like have lines of credit and other like financial options available to them in the last 100 years. Like that's a very recent development, you know what I mean? So it's like, imagine years and years and years and years of programming of being told you only have these few options in front of you. Imagine going from like 3 to 4 paths that you could take for your life to literally infinite paths. Like we can't sit here and act like even the most responsible, rigid, disciplined person is not gonna have some level of analysis paralysis with all these different options or like take advantage of the freedom in the wrong way for themselves or somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That's human nature. This isn't a video just, excusing women. You know what I'm saying? It's just everybody is going to fail us. Every human is going to fail us. You know what I'm saying? If we're relying on a human standard of loyalty, we will always be disappointed. I'm realizing that my freedom feels like bondage to a lot of women because my freedom requires a level of personal responsibility. Anybody that I spend time with, I have the expectation of them adding to my peace, purpose, and profit because that's what I do to everybody that I spend time around. So that's my base level expectation. But having that expectation it feels like the opposite of freedom to somebody that just wants to exist and wants to just float in the room and float out at their own leisure. This could just be my own masculine perspective, really, I'm projecting, but it's like, I feel like existence, I don't know if I feel like that's a luxury because that comes with things. Like to exist, I have to eat. I have to take care of myself. I have to hold myself to certain rules and standards to have a certain quality of life. And let's say the things that I'm working towards to have the option for in the future, they require a whole lot of buckling down right now to be able to float and relax at a later time. But even when I'm floating and relaxing, and let's say, like even like right now, but when I first went to barber school, I could barely afford my rent. You know what I'm saying? Like I was paying for my life with cutting hair, but I was barely doing it for real, for real. And now I'm in a place where I make a lot more money. I work a lot less, but I realize I'm still stressed because I be finding new kinds of freedom to get after. After I get to a new level, my mind is always wandering in the way that I'm not free. Like once I was, let's say, able to live off cutting hair, it was like, okay, well, this is cool, but now that I have like reoccurring money coming in and reoccurring connection in my life, my standard for the money and the connection got higher. So once I was really crazy booked out at $20 for 2 weeks year round, I was like, okay, now like I'm not thinking about, oh, I'm so free because I have this money flowing into my pocket that's flowing into my lifestyle. I can exercise in this kind of that way. I'm thinking about how for 2 weeks I can't plan nothing because I'm booked 2 weeks in advance. So my money, I might have more money, but my time is a lot more locked up. You know what I'm saying? I have no time freedom in the same way. Once I scale my business, raise my price, raise my quality, and all those things, I got to a point where I didn't have to work as hard, you know what I'm saying, to generate money. Or at least like on the front end as far as cutting hair. So then my time opened up. But my energy got locked up because I couldn't spend the energy on cutting hair, doing content, all the other things outside of my professional creative life that I need to maintain my well-being. Now I'm at the level where I want more energy freedom. But that doesn't mean creating more energy, because I can't do that. That just means being more intentional with the time and energy that I do have access to. That kind of shit made me realize, like, bro, I've been on and off homeless as a child, bro. And now I don't have those problems. Like, technically, I just gave up my apartment, so I'm homeless now. But it's like I have the freedom to float and make money. And even if I didn't want to spend money and stay on somebody's couch, I got a different couch I can stay on every week for like 2 years. Now I got to come up with people. You feel me? Like, monetary capital is important, but there's like social and spiritual capital that's like people can't pay for. When people get social and spiritual capital, they want to pay you money. That's usually how that goes. And freedom is a thing that we're constantly chasing. We never arrive at. For somebody as logical as myself, as masculine and as logical as myself, if I can't accurately define what my freedom is at any given time, how would I ever really expect to understand somebody else's idea of freedom? You know what I'm saying? Like us. They want to be free just like us. But most people really find their true freedom in the bondage. And that's not freedom that a person on this planet can grant you. That's freedom that you get from up high. When I was in college, I didn't feel free because I was holding myself to everybody's expectations. People that weren't even meeting their own spiritual, professional, whatever expectations. I'm trying to meet their expectations for me. You feel me? I'm in bondage to somebody's false idea of what I should be. And that's happened in different stages in life. Like, ever since I've been seriously, like, let's say dating, courting, talk to a girl. The dangerous thing about interacting with people energetically, their intentions leak into your intentions. So if they have no intention and they're aimless, that's only going to cloud your judgment. And if they want to go left and you want to go right, you're going to start going straight. So, and like, women want to be free. And most of the time, if they're attracted to you, it's because you make them feel more free. Would they feel how you feel? I realized as I became a more confident version of myself, women felt confident around me. Even if they didn't know shit about me, they didn't know shit about themselves. They went off the feeling, though. That's the best thing. That's the only thing I can do to allow a woman to feel free. Let her feel it off me. I can't control that feeling within her. I can be the best version of myself, and that version will coax out whatever reflection makes sense out of her. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of women I get around, and they're real talkative, they're real outspoken people, they're real like shining star type people. Then I get around them and they clam up, and I don't know what that's about. Sometimes I might remind them there's something about me that might remind them of the dad that they had. You know what I'm saying? Someone that made them feel neglected or disconnection. You know what I'm saying? Something about me might remind them of him. And now she done clammed up because of the association. Or it could be the other way where I'm present and I'm engaging and I remind her of the dad that she never had, the dad that she felt like she needed. She got exposed to that masculinity. A lot of times that's like some of the most triggering things people get exposed to. But also I realized that the thing that made me feel more free is reparenting myself. So when I reparent myself, people get reparented in our interactions, even if I'm not even giving some parenting advice or anything. Sometimes I'm just showing up and creating the space that makes someone feel like they can talk to me if they wanted to. And that's what makes them feel free. Because I realize that my role as a masculine individual isn't necessarily to put belt to ass all the time and like the real discipline type shit. You know what I'm saying? And like punishment. It's really about providing masculine containment. You know what I'm saying? And providing an environment where women and children feel safe to grow into who they need to be. Not necessarily who I think they should be, but somebody who they think that they should be in front of God. When people are feeling safe in that environment, they do goofy shit. They do goofy shit, bro. Like a kid that feels comfortable and safe is going to do some weird shit because that's like their most authentic selves being expressed. And women's most authentic selves, most women have never been able to be that. Like I'd say 99% of them, bro. And even the ones that get to show you a little window, like that took years and years and years and years of chipping at a brick wall just to show you that little view. So I've realized I used to be upset about women hemming my shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, in mind, like, I grew up in a house full of women. Like, I've always been surrounded by women. Women have always been some of my biggest blessings and my biggest curses. You feel me? The best thing I ever did for some people was just provide them a space that allowed them to feel safe. Some people don't tell me anything, but the energy speaks. And that's the real communication. Women feel comfortable when we lead by example and when we lead by following God's example for real. Because that's not about ego, that's about everybody's well being. I think a man's freedom is in service, a service to something greater than him. I feel like that's what opened up my options for real, for real. If I didn't have purpose to be of service, I wouldn't want to get off my ass and do things. There would be no reason for me to get out my mama house. You know what I'm saying? There'd be no reason for me to go get overhead, have things I have to pay for, have responsibilities, stack that shit up. But yeah, that's all I got for today. I appreciate y'all watching. I got ebooks, consultations, and courses. Link in the bio. If you haven't already followed your boy, follow me at Cuts by Elvis, at Better Barbering on Instagram and TikTok. But till next time, craft over clout. I'm out.